grown in the shape of a knot, a device used in medieval times to confuse evil spirits that may have been lurking nearby. Bouquets of fragrant herbs called tassemasses. Elizabethans carried them to perfume the air when the odor was less pleasing than the company. Herbs to grow at home. Wherever that may be, herbs, a way of life, a romantic tradition. Dioscorides, a medical man of the 1st century, said, "Gather herbs when the weather is clear, and each at its due season, for it is according to this that they either do their work or become quite ineffectual."
Herb growers generally agree that plant essences, known as essential oils, are most concentrated in the early mornings. Best time to harvest herbs is mornings, just after the dew has dried. Cut fresh tips about 4 to 6 inches in length. Harvest before flower buds form, as flowering is also thought to reduce the effect of the essential oils, which provide both flavor and fragrance. The herbs are next prepared for drying. Tie just enough sprigs together so that air may circulate around the leaves. Label each variety so that it is easy to identify when dry. Hang them in an airy place in subdued light. An oven, just barely warm, is also a good drying place.
The use of herbs has at all times been interwoven with daily life. It was during the Middle Ages that the practice of distilling them into medical potions developed from a cult into a science. Nurses, monks, and physicians used the physic garden, as it was called, to cultivate herbs and to extract their volatile oils. It was the beginning of the modern pharmaceutical industry.
After a few days, the herb harvest should be dry. They are crisp and brittle when ready for storage. Herbs retain their flavor best if leaves are stored whole or in large pieces and crumbled only when ready for use. Strip the leaves and pack them into jars. Light also tends to reduce flavor, so keep them in a dark cupboard in airtight jars.
Recipes for King Richard II. Pig in sauce sage. Apple blossom fritters. Roasted peacock. Take parsley, sage, hyssop, savory, and do them in a pot with good cow milk.
To give a good flavor to a stew, make a bouquet garni. Tie a few herbs in muslin. The classic selection is thyme, marjoram, parsley, and bay, but use any combination that appeals to you. Let it simmer with the stew for about the last half hour of cooking.
sweet basil, salad burnet, chives, lovage, borage. To feed on flowers and weeds of glorious feature, to take whatever thing doth please the eye.
Fresh herbs in season, chopped or finely minced, may be used in all sorts of combinations. But to discover likes or dislikes, it is better to begin by using individual herbs. Try to use too little rather than too much. Let the taster enjoy the puzzle.
Fresh salading with herbs is grateful to the stomach and will have the effect of removing obstructions, relieving shortness of breath, and correcting the humors generated by gross food. Lemon balm tea, lemon verbena, mint, rosemary, sage, flowers of clover. This herb, drunken with hot water, maketh a man to have a good mood and good wit. Claret cup with borage leaves. Tarragon vinegar.
When flowers have formed and the stalk will bend but not break, lavender is ready to make into sachets. First, strip the leaves. Take an odd number of stalks, 15 or 17. Trim to equal length. Hold together with a rubber band just below the flowers. Bend stalks over and hold shape with another rubber band. Starting at the top, thread a ribbon alternately over and under the adjacent stalks.
If lavender is put under thy bed's head, thou shalt be delivered of all evil dreams.
To make a pomander, take a fresh orange. Press cloves into it. Use good quality unbroken cloves. Leave enough space for shrinkage.
In unpromising surroundings, the pomander was carried to convey a bouquet to the air. Cardinal Wolsey seldom went among the people without one. Queen Elizabeth I was mightily pleased at the gift of a pomander. She wore it on a ribbon from her waist.
Prepare a mixture of powdered orris root and cinnamon. The cinnamon complements the aroma and the orris root acts as a perfume fixative. Cover well. It is then ready to place in a closet where it will dry, become brown, and continue for many years to give a spicy aroma to your linen. As mint is always useful in the kitchen, drinks, mint sauce for lamb, it is necessary to know how to control its wandering habit in the garden. Dig it up in the spring. Cut root sections that contain new shoots. Trim off some leaves and plant a new stand. Keep it watered until new growth appears. You can restrain the roots by sinking boundary plates as deep as possible, and you will again have plenty of mint by early summer. Many herbs can be propagated by stem cuttings. Again in springtime, insert new tip growth into a rooting medium, such as a mixture of perlite, peat moss, and sand in equal proportions. Keep in light shade, and roots will form within 2 weeks. Pot the rooted cuttings or transplant directly into the garden. Annuals are usually propagated from seed. They grow easily and quickly.
The mandrake. Of this herb, there are these 2 sorts. They are in all proportion like man and woman, with head, legs, and other members. When pulled from the ground, the mandrake utters a magic shriek that either kills those who hear it or drives them mad. To avoid this, tie a dog to the plant on a moonless night. Whip the dog at the stroke of midnight, and it will pull the root screeching from the ground, and the dog will die or go mad instead of you. The rose. The rose looks fair, but fair it we deem for that sweet odor which doth in it live.
Dried rose petals, scented leaves of herbs and spices make an aromatic mixture called potpourri. Take the petals from roses that have not reached full bloom. Spread out on paper. Take leaves of fragrant herbs such as lemon balm, scented geranium, and rosemary. Allow them to dry. They must become crisp dry. It takes a few days usually. Pour the dry petals and leaves in a mixing bowl. Orris root is added to help absorb and retain the fragrant oils contained within the dry petals and leaves. Add a spice such as cloves. Mix well. Add any additional dry scented herb that you may care for. A few drops of fragrant oil adds interest to the aroma. Keep in any attractive jar and uncover when you wish to perfume the air.
An ointment made of leaves and hog's grease healeth wounds and taketh away spots, wrinkles, and sunburnings, as all ladies, gentlewomen, and she citizens know well enough. The water of cucumber removes the heat and inflammation of the eyes and helpeth them when they are bloodshotten. Aloe vera, it taketh away the wrinkles thereof and cause the skin to become smooth and fair. A coin from ancient Greece. It portrays a herb. Herb of pagan superstition and magical rite. Plant that cures the sick. Herbs of fragrance and flavor. The subject of wise men and kings. Herbs, their beauty, delicacy, and variety flavor everyone's life.